Hi, this is Brian Eisenhower, and I am here with the one and only Claudia Restrepo. Claudia's team sold over 340 homes last year, and one of the keys to her success is how well she runs the listing side of her business and what the members of her team do. So, Claudia, thanks for being with us here today.
Hi, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Great. Hey, well, tell us a little bit about your listing specialist and your listing coordinator and what they do on your team.
Okay, fantastic. I have 3 listing specialists and 1 listing manager, listing coordinator. I also have an outside sales agent who sets appointments for my listing specialists. So my listing specialists get an email or a phone call from my OSA confirming an appointment for them. They have to call the seller, reconfirm the appointment, gather more information if they need more information than what she gathered for them, prepare a CMA, let the listing coordinator know where they're going to go, so the listing coordinator can prepare the listing agreement, give them the listing agreement, fill out as much as she can based on the previous MLS listing. Then they go to the appointment. They are also in charge of doing the CMA. They go to the appointment, they do a listing presentation, they present the CMA, and they take the listing. They have the seller sign of the document, and then they come back to the office with the listing paperwork. They give it to the listing coordinator, and then she takes it from there. She is in charge of contacting the photographer, contacting the stager, making sure the sign goes up, prepare the flyer, and all the marketing for that listing, upload it in the MLS, coordinate with the seller for the pictures, for the stager, for the lockbox, and so forth. Once we get a contract, the listing agent comes back into the picture for the negotiation. And once the contract has been negotiated, that contract as a purchase and sale agreement goes to the transaction coordinator, and she takes it from there. Right now, our listing agents still make some of the phone calls, follow up. We are working on that transition because we're carrying about 125 listings at any given time. So that will be a full-time job for someone to really make those customer care conversations. My listing agents still do price reduction conversations, but all the administrative tasks are handled by the listing manager.
Okay, so that's great. So what I'm hearing is you've got an outbound sales agent that actually prospects out to generate listing leads. Then once an appointment's set, one of your listing agents, your listing specialist, goes out and actually takes the listing, and they're presenting the CMA and your entire value proposition to get the listing signed. In the meantime, they're going to handle any price reductions and then ultimately negotiate the offers once they come in. But everything else goes to that listing manager and coordinator.
That is absolutely right.
Okay, so that's great. So you've got everyone really specialized there. So all the coordination, all the communication, at least you're moving into that point where they're doing all the customer service phone calls, are being handled by that administrative listing manager. And then your listing manager is paid on an hourly basis, but your listing agents, how are they compensated?
Our listing agents earn 35% of the commission, and we take care of all the expenses. So photography, staging, everything that has to do with the marketing, our listing coordinator. Our goal really is to have them going to as many appointments as they can, take the listing, come back, and do it again. We really focus on specializing, so everybody does the top 20% of their 20%.
Sure.
So they are much better at what they do, and they make much more money and have much more time to really enjoy the money they're making because they're focusing on their 20%.
That's awesome. Well, Claudia, thank you so much for your time today. That's great. Thanks for letting us take a little peek in how you run such an amazingly successful real estate business.
Thank you so much for having me.